Welcome back to the channel. While we were doing the carburetor video, when I went to start the blower, I noticed that the exhaust valve needs to be adjusted. And the reason I knew that is when you pull on this, it should pull over easy, pretty easy. You know, you should feel some compression, but if you ever pull on the handle and it almost pulls the blower out of your hand, more likely your exhaust valve needs to be adjusted. So these have a compression release on the exhaust valve. And if the exhaust valve gets out of adjustment, it'll create too much compression to pull it over easily. And then once it starts up, the little compression release, centrifugal force holds it in, so it's not acting every time. So to do that, we're going to pull off the back cover, and I'll show you how to adjust the exhaust valve. You got 3 screws here on your pull cord, and then there is 4 bolts on the cover. These are different threads. The bolt that it's like a wood screw thread that holds the back cover on. And it's like a machine screw thread that holds the pull cord on. The other 2 are down here. And pull the spark plug out first, and it'll kind of push back through the cover. Then we also have to take off this cover. This is a similar wood screw style screw. 2 bolts holding it on. These 2 screws are a little bit longer. Got to take loose the wire for the ignition coil, and then this cover will come out of the way. Then we'll take off the bolt that holds the valve cover on. It's nice and hot because we just been running it. All right, so now that was the exhaust stroke. Exhaust valve just open. Now the exhaust is closing. This is split overlap where the exhaust just closed, the intake's opening. So my intake valve's still opening, piston's going down. That completed my intake stroke. So now the piston's coming back up. I know that because my magnets here are coming back around to the ignition coil, so I'm on compression stroke. And at some point here, you'll see the exhaust valve, or at least the rocker arm, move a little bit. So this is a 10,000ths filler gauge. It comes from Stihl, but it's just a 10,000th thickness, and it's just, you know, a real small area so you can get in above the exhaust valve. So this one's not terrible, but it is a little bit loose. This is just an 8mm lock nut. I'm just going to tighten it up just a little bit. Now I feel a little resistance when I'm sliding it in. Yeah, that's pretty good. About the same amount of resistance on both sides. And now we can put everything back together. This is a machine thread bolt. It's all metric, of course, because it's steel. There is also a copper washer on this bolt. And this bolt, I think the thread's the same as the bolts that hold on the cover, but you can see it's a good bit longer. So if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. It's a T27 Torx, and it's 6 inches long, and it locks into screwdrivers. This is a snap-on screwdriver, but I got a Milwaukee screwdriver. It works in it too. Just super handy for doing this small equipment type stuff, whether it be Stihl or Red Max, or most of the brands have a lot of T27 Torx. So now we're going to put our cover back on. So this is a little finer thread than the ones that hold the cover, but these are longer. So the two that go here are longer screws. Yeah, so this is set on number 4. You know, you can set it on 3, 4, 5, but that's what I love about these is they have a clutch. So when you're putting these screws in plastic, you're not stripping them out. If you were to use a normal drill without a clutch system, that would be bad. You'd end up stripping out a lot of stuff. So you can hear once it gets in and gets tight, the clutch slips and it's good to go. And tighten that back up. You can't hook these up wrong because this one's smaller than the other one. So it'll only go in one spot there. Now we can put this cover back on. Let's always pull this spark plug lead out through there. So we're going to start this up and we'll see how easy it pulls over. It shouldn't snag as we're pulling on it. Hopefully the video picks that up. This starts really easy. Not a lot of resistance to pull and get it over the compression stroke because our exhaust valve is adjusted properly and our compression release is working. Until next time, see you, bye.